Forever in this with you. I want you forever in this. I want you forever in this. Forever in this with you. We're back. Forever and Then Some, episode 5, season 2, I think. Yeah, totally. Check this out. I'm going to be reading notes off my phone today because the phone isn't filming us. Because we're a professional now. We're using a professional camera, and I hope it looks good. And we're going to test to see how long the battery lasts. So we might want to keep this one short.
Okay.
But there wasn't that much that went on this week, so it'll probably be pretty easy.
Yeah, I don't think really.
You had a doctor's appointment.
I did.
How's pregnancy this week treating you? Rough?
No, it's just so different from like the girls
Yeah.
that I don't
It makes sense that he's a boy in there because
Yeah.
it is way different.
Yeah. Did we say?
Yeah, the last episode was us telling everything.
Was it?
We're pregnant. We're having a boy. I lifted up the blue cup.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's just different. My body hurts more, but
Yeah.
I think that has nothing to do with the pregnancy and more so of the pregnancy and me having a hernia.
Yeah.
Combining. So a lot of pressure.
Yeah. It's very weird. You're always complaining about it, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Do I pop you? Like poke you like a
Deflate.
balloon?
I wish it was that easy.
Talk about going to Disney in a couple weeks, and
Yeah.
well, a week from Tuesday we'll be going.
Tuesday, yeah.
For like 2 days, and we're definitely gonna be trying to invest in the wheelchair, the automatic ride-on.
Yeah. Even if that, you guys can just push me in a regular
Yeah, that's true too.
old school because I think those are like
So we're
30
pushing
bucks.
a stroller and a grown adult.
Yeah.
Nice, heck yeah, dude! Can't wait for that.
Don't say that. And a grown adult.
And it won't be as hot, or it shouldn't be as hot out.
Yeah, I'm hoping it won't be as bad because tomorrow I work in front of the house, so we'll see if it's just like today's a bad day or whatever. But I had a hard time walking into church.
Yeah, it was like that yesterday too.
Was it?
Yeah, you weren't feeling great.
Yeah, I live day to day.
Yeah, so pretty uneventful week. Other than that, you had a good doctor's appointment. I didn't even go.
Appointment, yeah. Got to hear babies. You know, it's one of those doctor's appointment as a woman. You know, if you've been pregnant and dealt with it, the doctor comes in. Hey, how are you? Yeah, okay. Lay back. Let's get a baby's heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Gets it. All right, perfect. Any questions? No, great. All right. Well, once we get closer, we'll start talking more about this and this and that. And all right, you have a good day. Bye.
Yeah. The first appointment we went to was not like that. They had us in there for hours. It felt like we spent so much time waiting. And of course, that's the one that I went and was like, I'm just going to take my hour lunch and go. And we were there for like 2 hours. And then I was really gone from work for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I clocked out and then stayed an hour late.
Yeah.
And then of course you go to this one and it's like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, cool. I could have gone to this one.
Yep. And I got Chili's.
Yeah, you got Chili's. You don't even like Chili's.
No, I don't.
I love
this
Chili's.
baby loves Chili's, I think.
My child, baby. And a boy. You want them burgers.
Baby back Chili's.
Baby back ribs. Speaking of Chili's and burgers, for whatever reason, I feel like God has been speaking to me to try and eat better. And your dad was cooking burgers over there, and when we went and dropped off the baby just now, and I was like, oh, I want a burger so bad, but I gotta fight.
But burgers aren't bad for you.
Yeah, but the bun.
Yeah.
I think the main things I'm trying to, honestly, I gotta break my addiction to sugar because clearly I'm addicted to sugar.
Right.
And I think I don't know, maybe that's all. Maybe I just start small and just do that so I'm not torturing myself.
I honestly think more than anything, because there's times that we eat out quite a bit just because it's quicker. We went grocery shopping. Now it's already too late.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, necessarily we eat all that bad. You do have a sweets where you go through some sweets, but like I think it's more of adding some physical
stuff, just moving, doing like exercises. That'd probably be. I think that maybe at night, like doing a small length of fasting. So it's not really fasting, but it'd be like stop eating, like be more strict of stop eating at 10 and don't eat until 8 or 9, that's like 10 hours.
Yeah, I think, but for the most part, I mean, you wake up, I guess.
I wake up in the middle of the night and eat sweets.
Okay, yeah. I say from the most part, I think we're done eating by 8. But
yeah, we're usually done eating by like 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I think that if I don't eat sweets that much, maybe I'm just going too
physical
intense.
Regimen.
Yeah, like
was what I was thinking.
Oh, nice.
I couldn't.
Well, maybe I need to change my eating regimen. Gotcha.
Right.
And like stop eating sweets so much, and like because I don't eat sweets. Well, yeah, I do. I guess I do.
You do.
I eat so much sweets.
Yeah.
Like cookies and
you're a sweet guy.
And then all I drink a lot of water throughout the day because I'm outside. But if I wasn't outside, I would literally be fine with drinking either soda or sweet tea all day long.
Right.
And I think that that's probably what so I really just need to stop doing that kind of stuff and stop doing the sweets in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So if I like
think
stop
a
my
little bit more different physical activity would be great.
Yeah,
for you.
I'm talking about all of those together.
Oh yeah. I like going on a walk with the baby.
Yeah. I've thought of, I know I should.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like eat a little cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, but I think like if we're going out and you know somebody's having burgers,
I should have had a burger.
You could have had a burger.
I'm so hungry.
Well, you're gonna have a burger tomorrow because that's what you're gonna make.
Yep. It's Labor Day. Welcome to Labor Day, guys. It's Labor Day weekend. Well, today is Labor Day for y'all who are listening. So happy Labor Day.
Yeah.
I hope you got off. Tiffany didn't. I did.
Say with more joy.
I did. Mariah has off school, so I literally have no reason to wake up early and like do anything, which is if the baby sleeps until like 8 a.m., I'm like looking at myself at the thing, trying to get a good angle.
Say there's some waffles, there's some like sausage and eggs you can make in the morning when you get up, and then
it's gonna be a me and the girls day.
Tons of leftovers you can do for lunch, and then when I get home, we can do the sausages and
what time?
burgers.
Yeah. I'm not gonna ask you what time you get off work on the podcast. Let's go over your schedule right now. But look at me, guys. I'm pulling up notes. So in church today, at the end, he talked about when you are walking in faith. He talked about how we're factory set to certain ways, and then we fall off in our ways, and how most of us as newborn Christians, our new Christians, need to factory reset something. And he was kind of like telling everybody to maybe focus on factory resetting something in their day-to-day life. So
right. He was saying that we break away from our factory reset, because our factory reset would be to be like God, because we are made in the image of Him.
Yeah. So if you were to factory reset, you would be going back to God. So what I've jotted it down as soon as he said it. What do you think that
my mouth?
Okay. I was going to say the same thing, but different, because I'm trying to like eat better. So it's my mouth, but it's what I'm intaking. It's like what I'm putting in my body. Yeah. I think that's what I'm trying to do, because I'm already hecka good at not cursing.
Yeah. You're a lot. You still slip, but you're a lot better than I am. I struggle with cursing. So, and I struggle with like being hateful out my mouth.
Right.
Sometimes, like,
you work in a high stress environment.
Yeah, I immediately like slightest inconvenience, irritated by somebody. Mm-hmm. I'm just like ready to just word vomit. Yeah. Mean, nasty things. And
you work in a kitchen. Kitchens are weird. Kitchens are like,
yeah, but like you got to break away and like not. I don't want to use that as my excuse to why I am acting the way I am or saying things that like I am. At the end of the day, like he said, if we're worshiping God and we're trying to walk in His likeness, we have to be open with the fact that okay, I'm making these mistakes. I'm doing this,
right?
And I am very aware of my mouth. Even when it comes out, sometimes I'll walk away immediately, be like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like as it was coming out my mouth.
That's something we're both good at doing. It's like when it slips out, we both recognize it. We're like, oh,
yeah.
shoot.
It's just taking me, because there was a point where I was just like almost every other word came out my mouth is a curse word.
This podcast, bro, we cussed like crazy. I went and changed everything in the podcast, like the information, the bio, because we're like leaning toward this certain way. And it was like, I had a whole different idea when we first signed up for it to what it actually ended up being.
Maybe we need to direct that the first season isn't like that somehow, though.
Yeah, we definitely should. So yeah, if you guys are finding us now,
skip season 1.
No, I mean, if you want to go listen. But you could. It's not like it's a bad thing, but there's so much change happening, and I think you can kind of see it from like mid-season to now, because we started going to church.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like that's before Church Us,
Mhm.
and the new season. It's almost like this new from the. It's almost like this is the 5th episode.
Right.
Like the first episode, we're just getting used to recording. We're getting used to being on.
Right.
Like this and that. I was like, I wanted to keep trying to find like a niche, but in reality, what we were doing is talking about our family, and that's what we are, and that's what our life is. So it's like we're Christians
Right.
in our family. There's our niche, a Christian family. You want to come hang out with us for an hour? You're a Christian family that's new to it, or even been in it forever, and you need a relationship to come hang out with. You don't got many friends like us. We don't
Right.
have any. We don't get to hang out.
Yeah, there. What is it? In our church, which where I'm not super outgoing, so I definitely, as of right now, will not be joining a group.
Oh, nice.
But like, think of this as like your group.
Yeah.
Like you can have open discussion on YouTube on the video or on our Instagram
Yeah.
or I guess those are really the only two ways to contact us. But
yeah,
like,
we just do right now. We're just on YouTube and Instagram. I'm gonna make a new TikTok. We have a TikTok, but I took when we came back for episode 1, I realized how many stupid things I was doing. Like, I hate to say it, but branding wise, like it was forever, like the number forever. So literally the hardest thing to search in the world.
right.
And then so I changed all that. It's forever. The word is forever, and then some on everything now.
Yeah.
It's all adjacent. It's easy to search. When you look it up on YouTube, when you look up forever and then some podcast, we come up,
Right.
which is good. It's only like the most recent episodes,
Right.
but at least they come up. But yeah, so I just want like, I don't know, I'm just trying to get the idea of it right. And now that we're on the actual camera, I want to start taking like making content out of it more. Like I even talked about clipping stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to start just taking it a little bit more seriously. But yeah, this could be like, we want this to feel like that, exactly, like a small group of people. You sit and we're just another regular family. We're raising kids. We're in a relationship. We're married and in love, and we're just trying to fend through life as new Christians, really.
Right.
And it's honestly, it's weird breaking old habits and like the cussing thing. Like I'm trying to break.
Just acknowledging the more you move on, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Even like some of the stuff. Well, now like I'm having a big thing, or it hasn't been that hard, but it's like they call it secular stuff, like secular movies, secular music.
What
This
is
is
that?
non-Christian
Okay.
content. Like, I don't think that I'll ever be able to give up like I even Googled it, was like Christians who like horror movies, because Horror Nights is happening literally this weekend. It's the
Right.
first weekend. It's like my favorite thing of the year. But it's like the topics and the themes in Horror Nights, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. I think it's okay to like the stuff,
Right.
but I think that
Yeah. I feel like there's a level to it that's okay, I
Yeah.
guess, but at the same time, it's probably not. I don't know.
I don't think you think about it as much as I have.
Well, I don't like.
But okay, on horror topics, I know you don't like.
I don't like it,
And
'cause
that's
it
why you
makes
don't
me
like.
feel like something
But
is closer to me than it should be. That that's not.
all right.
So I see that. I relate with that. I
Yeah.
understand why you shouldn't have that type of stuff in your life, because it is drawing in that negative.
Yeah.
I
But
guess-
then we watch things like House of Dragons.
Right.
There's literally a scene in this season where that you watch somebody, like, there's a lot of sex stuff in it.
Right.
A lot of it is that.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, you know what I mean? And we don't, I mean, I think that I've been thinking about it more, but that's because the male brain thinks of that stuff more. So being a new Christian, I'm trying to like redirect my brain a
Right.
little bit. I'm
Yeah, I
trying
don't
to.
see those scenes as sexual. I don't know if like that's something that
There's a scene that I just been trying to not do the corn thing.
Yeah.
And trying not to do anything over sexual. I'm trying to just change my mind to where women that aren't my wife I don't want to look at them in any lustful way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't. It's
They're beasts. Ugly
they're
beasts.
ugly beasts. No, but so watching House of Dragons and seeing something that is literally like corn.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's a couple scenes where I was like, oh, I've been trying not to watch this stuff, and I watch a show and there it is. And if
Okay.
I wasn't like being strong
Right.
about it and not trying to do this not trying to like bring that kind of
Right.
content into my mind, that could have been triggering.
For sure. Yeah. I don't think of it like that because I don't see it like that. So yeah.
See, it's
Yeah.
honestly, it's a weird
half
journey.
the time I'm like sitting there like, why is this in here?
But the sex scenes are overly long in those shows too.
Yeah, I get like how shows
like me and your sister
built
talk.
up to them.
Yeah.
Like I get the build up to them. It's telling a story. Okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I don't get the actual scene.
No,
I don't understand
I don't like it.
why.
Now
it's
I
in
really
there.
don't like it because I'm like, ugh, I'm trying not to like
Right.
bring this kind of
Same
contact.
thing with Yellowstone. Like when I heard the new season's coming out, I was like, ugh, I don't know if I should watch that anymore. And then I'm like, well, you're still watching House of Dragons.
I think it's okay to
And then I'm
watch
like, ugh.
things. I think we just have to be mindful.
Right.
You watch Bridgerton, baby. Bridgerton is literally. I was having like I was like, okay, this is rough. Like I'm trying not to bring this.
But
kind of
same
stuff
thing in
in.
that too. I really just don't understand why they show it so
Dude,
much.
so long. It's crazy.
And
that's what
somebody
I'm-
should come out there and make like a Christian clip out all the scenes.
Christian cleanup, dude.
Yeah,
Just clean it up
Clean
for
it up
us.
a little bit.
Bleep the curse words. Take the boobs and parts out, and
Yeah,
because Game of Thrones, you see
Game of
all.
Thrones would be so good without all
still
that.
be amazing.
You don't need it. Yeah.
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 I think you see where we're at. We're on two different spectrums with the secular movies and stuff. Like the sex stuff is what I'm trying to get rid of because I just don't want to have like that kind of. I don't know. I'm trying to change my brain.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I'm like feel like I was addicted to corn or anything, but like I just don't.
Right.
I notice when there's studies that say like it's not good for your brain,
Right.
and then I try and take it away. Even before Christianity, I like dialed back and was like, I don't need that kind of
Right.
stuff. I'm married. Like I don't need to be worrying about watching that kind of stuff.
Right.
You feel your moods and like it's just better for you.
Right.
So like I don't know where I was going with it, but it like trying to reset is hard.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing like
Yeah. Game of Thrones makes me want to punch somebody in the throat right afterwards, you know?
yeah, because they always leave you on a cliffhanger. Me, I'm trying
Like
to be
super
like, don't look
aggressive.
at that.
Like, "Ah!"
Like a couple weeks ago, I was even like, we were watching something on TikTok, and I was like, why does she have to have her boobs out? And you were like, why do you know you don't care? And I was like, no, I'm literally trying to not see this
Right.
kind of stuff.
And I don't even notice
I've
it.
unfollowed a lot of people on
Yeah.
my everything. People that I know personally that I like never would think of that way, but you never know what's going to trigger your brain.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't need it.
Right.
I don't know. I'm trying to change, bro. I'm really trying to change out here. I am.
I know
changing.
you are, baby.
So when I'm grumpy, think of all the things I'm trying to change. It's mainly going to be food.
Yeah.
That I'm not really having that big of an issue with. It's like, I love you.
I was like, you are having an issue with the food. Yesterday,
No,
all you wanted to do was eat.
dude, no, food is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Food is hard.
You're like,
love
why
it.
am I hungry? I've already eaten 3 times.
It's because you're sitting there stressfully just focusing on, you're used to snacking.
What am I going to eat? Yeah.
I'm snacking all day.
Yeah.
I bring so much food to work just so I'm constantly eating.
But that makes sense, though, for work. I mean, you're out, you're draining yourself. You have to, like,
Mhm.
continue.
When
So-
the hardest,
And you don't eat bad for lunch either.
No, I don't eat terrible. I think it's just sugar. Like I have a hard time with sweets,
Right.
and like most of the things I drink are full of sugar.
Yeah.
I think that I just need to like give myself like, and even yesterday I felt like I was freaking detoxing because my brain's killing me because I'm so used to running
Right.
off of sweet tea, which is caffeine and sugar. And last year I went to the doctor for the first time in forever, and what's he tell me? I have high blood pressure, so he's telling me to get rid of this stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'll quit drinking soda for 3 weeks, and I'll go to diet. But then I was like, diet sodas, it's fine. I'm all right with diet soda, which I should probably be doing over sweet tea, because then I went on this huge thing where I'm just like, I'm drinking
Diet
sweet
soda
tea.
is
Like,
really bad for you.
But at the is it
Diet soda's worse. Yeah.
okay? Well, I feel better about that then.
Diet soda's worse. Like having something that's like a natural sugar is better than something diet.
That's artificial.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing I'm trying to like.
So
I wonder if what I've been.
You need moderation rather than going and saying, "I gotta get it out. I can't have it." Is moderate to be able to like be on.
I
moderation.
need to be more disciplined
because when you cut things out and you go long term without cutting them out, and you have done it before, but the moment you taste it,
I'm like, oh, okay, so I should just go back to drinking Coke all day every day.
And you go so hard on it, and then it goes back to your normal day life.
Yeah.
If you did it in moderation, and you're like, all right, I want a soda today, and had the soda.
Yeah.
There's going to come a point where you're going to want it less because you already are doing it less. And it's less of a like, I want it because I can't have it situation. I think I physically can't do much more physically than what I'm already doing because of my hernia. Yeah. But after this baby, I am totally down
to get tight, like just like bring our health.
Yeah. Like, I mean, food wise, I think like we do all right. I don't think it's really as bad.
Honestly,
as
if we're not doing fat, for me, it's sweets.
Yeah.
Like it's making me think like, damn, maybe I should have just bought a loaf of bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like eating a sandwich or like I don't go crazy with that.
Or switch over to like wheat bread.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, the other day, wasn't even thinking about it, but on the way home one day, I was starving and I stopped at the gas station and they had an Uncrustable, but it was wheat.
Huh.
I didn't even know. I just grabbed it and grabbed a drink. It was like $2-3 because it's cheap, you know? So I open it up and I look at it and I was like, oh, this is a wheat. And I ate it and I was like, I could not tell the difference.
Right.
So maybe I should just do.
Yeah, wheat bread's not bad.
Less sugary drinks.
Yeah.
Less sweets.
And the only thing with carbs is what you have to be careful is carbs do break down into sugar.
Yeah, see, everything.
And like I said, moderation. Like if you have a sandwich once a week for your lunch, that's okay.
Right.
You know?
Because like when I did it, I did really good for like 4 months a couple of years ago, and I lost weight and got to where I'm at right now. I haven't gained or lost anything since, but I went so hard on dieting that now I like hate the idea of eating a wrap because the wraps that we used to get, they disgust me.
Yeah.
Like the
I
texture
think the ones
of
that
them.
We got this time are like regular wraps.
Fine. Yeah, it should be fine. But I don't know. Yeah. I'm just trying to like change because I listen to a couple things and like a lot of people that are Christian that are like taking it super serious a lot of people that I listen to take health super serious.
Right.
And it makes sense. He gave us this
you gotta value your body.
Yeah. He gave us this like over like Chris even said it a few weeks ago when we were at church and we were talking. We were on the I don't want to get into it. We were on a topic and he was like, but I can't say anything because look at me. I'm technically overweight. You're not supposed to be you're supposed to be like disciplined with your food. You're not supposed to be overeating. Overeating could be considered a sin.
Right. Gluttony.
So it's like,
Gluttony.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just, I don't know. We are brand new Christians and you're learning something every day. And I'm trying to like, I originally jump into it because of I felt like I was having trouble with my like emotions.
Right.
But then when you start really thinking about it, it's like what you're putting in your body is also hurting your brain and this, you know what I mean? Right. So it's like it all works together.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing you can do is like when it comes to like chips or stuff like it's the processed foods that are really bad. The freezer foods, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you did vegetables and even though like the chicken's in the freezer, you can pull that chicken out and put it in our Instapot. There's like no reason for us to be like, because I hate them. I won't eat them anyways. Like a freezer meal.
Oh, yeah, I eat those all day, every day.
I cannot stand the taste of them. Yeah. They taste like they're bad.
A lot of them I don't like, but even what you were saying, like chips and stuff, like I've already don't like normal. I like baked stuff.
No, like, and then like if you just like switched it out more and like now you're eating more fruits and having that kind of stuff, and then if you gotta get yourself to eating like raw vegetables with like maybe a hummus or something,
right.
And I think those will like the more you do that kind of stuff. And if you want a bag of chips, eat the bag of chips.
Right.
I just think if you overall are doing
Just thinking and being more
conscious
like,
about what you're eating, you don't like vegetables.
Not many. I like little carrots. I like broccoli steamed. I'll eat little carrots. We have them.
Yeah.
I'll eat them. I'll start to eat them.
You like cucumbers.
I don't know if I do. I mean, I don't.
It's
mind
like you avoid them like the plague.
cucumbers.
Yeah.
They're not really in many things that I try and eat, though.
Well, okay, maybe that's it. But like I love a cucumber. I can dip a cucumber
My
in
brain
some like
doesn't just go to
Greek
cucumber.
dressing,
Right.
or like tzatziki sauce, making a tzatziki sauce and dipping like vegetables and that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, I just
And
gotta
you get the crunch from it, so it's like a chip.
Yeah. Just gotta be more conscious about the stuff that I'm like putting in my body. I want to be here.
Yeah.
Too, you know.
Mhm.
We got children. We got another children on the way.
Children.
We've last episode. I was like, yeah, we're having a boy. We're done. We go out to lunch with our cousins, and they have have 3 kids, but they're all under the age of 10. And then we heard about their situation with like they don't get much help. It's just them most of the time. Like they don't get much time together. And then I look at our situation, and it's like we have all the help in the world. So why don't we just keep having them? So by the time I left there, I was like, I don't know if we're gonna have another kid. Now I saw my mom the other day, and she was like, "Your last kid," and I was like, I don't know. Your doctor was like, I can
fix your hernia.
Yeah, I can fix your hernia, and you get your tubes tied all in one run while you're having a C-section. But now we're like, maybe next time. It's like I don't know. It's hard for us to decide.
Yeah, that's something that I think we have.
But I feel like
I truly think we have to pray on.
Yeah,
and figure out what
we
want.
We didn't talk about this episode. So.
What?
We didn't know.
No,
it's
something that we need to pray on and see if that is something that we want to do, is have another child after this baby, and see if like physically I can handle it, because with the hernia it is much harder. And then like, you know, like even though we have the help financially, is it the right thing?
Right.
I just felt like the moment I found out I was pregnant and somebody said, and I think it was you that said like, all right, that's it, we're done.
Yeah. Then you're like,
it like instantly was like, oh, I don't like that. Right. My heart like kind of was sad when you said that. And like, it's always going to be sad that you're saying this is your last baby, because the whole experience is so beautiful and connecting, and like they grow up so fast. But it was like a different type of like, oh no,
it's like heartbreaking when you're like, oh, I'm not going to do this again.
Yeah, it's going to be, but it was more or less how I felt. Like it was like, oh, okay, well that hurt my, like, I don't think I'm ready to do that. Like it's a different, like kind of like, I don't think I'm ready to say this is my last child, because I think I may want another, rather than like it hurts my feelings because I know that we're done. And it's it's like hurts because you're like wishing that it wasn't. I don't know how to explain it. It just, I think it's something that we really, really, really got to pray on and talk about and see what's right for our family and see what's right for the kids that we already have. Because I don't want to take anything from them, you know.
Right.
But I would just plain old, like out of like love. I have enough love for like another like 20 kids, but I'm not. You know what I mean?
Right. I think we always go financial, where it's like we don't want to overstress ourselves and like bite too much we could chew. But at the same time, why?
Right.
We'll always figure it out.
Right. Yeah. And that's something like my parents, like I remember, I mean, I don't really remember them struggling when I was growing up. They hid it very well, but you know, having 4 kids, I mean, my parents have 5 kids, but I think by the time Daryl had came along, they were doing better. Yeah. But, they struggled, like, you know, financially, and it never wavered in the thought that they were not going to have the kids that they had.
Right.
But I don't know. It's difficult.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to say you're
financially,
done doing.
Yeah. And then financially, like that shouldn't be the reason that you say not to have any more kids. But at the same time, a lot of people would say that is the perfect reason not to have any more kids.
Yeah, but are we those type of people?
Right. And am I asking anybody else to afford my kids?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna struggle through it, but like I'm not to the point where I'm struggling where I need a handout.
Right.
And I think that's where financially we're like, okay, maybe you shouldn't have kids if other people are going to have to afford them,
Right.
because that's not fair to that kid either.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, you don't want to put them in a. Yeah, you don't want to bring a person into the world just to like have a really rough time.
right. And then when you're struggling financially, a lot of times people are not the same that they would be if they weren't struggling financially.
Right.
It takes, a toll, but like, I don't know. Like I said, it's just something we have to pray about, because I would love another baby, I think.
Yeah. 4.
But we just have to see if
3 under 5 it would be basically, because you wouldn't want to wait. We wouldn't want to wait too long to have another
No,
kid.
this one would probably be back to back.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting up there.
Yeah, so it would be 3 kids under the age of 5.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. 3 teenagers at the same time. At least at one point in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then here's when the even though it's already a pro for Everly and Landon, because they're going to be together.
Yeah, did we say that we were naming him Landon?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we have a name, Landon Dean, baby. Let's go.
Yes. So they're going to be able to go do more.
Right.
Than Mariah was able to do, because Mariah was the only child.
together.
Because they're together, and I know that they're going to protect each other, because there wasn't a person that would get in between me and any of my siblings.
Right.
So like that breaks my heart for Mariah, because I know that she feels some type of way for that. And I know there's going to come a time where we're like, you let them do whatever they want to. I'm like, no, I don't. I just, they're
By
together.
that time, though, she'll be old. And she'll be on her.
No. I could see Daryl. I mean, me and Brittany do it about Daryl sometimes. They're like, dang, okay. When he was like 18, we were like,
dang, y'all
are just letting him out there living a life wild and free. Right. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. He's a good, I don't know, though. I don't know.
He's a good kid.
He is
but we were all good kids.
Yeah. Were we?
I was up until out of high school. I was
until no, and I mean, really though. Sometimes I talk about the stuff that I used to get into, and you look at me like, "Whoa, what the heck?" So I think, were better. I think you were pretty good. I
was good until I graduated in high school.
Yeah,
and then when I graduated from high school, and I was like having a job, and was it like a great job? No,
I don't think you went
McDonald's,
as buck
but
wild
I don't think
as some people do.
No, I don't know. We've been talking about telling kind of our testimonies on maybe an episode.
Yeah, we'll have to take 2 episodes. We'll do one on one and one on the other.
So I just want everybody that listens to this remember what he said. I don't think you were that bad when I start telling my story. Everybody's like,
mine were
for sure
substances.
Yeah,
is where I was at.
No, mine was more like being around the wrong people and doing the things that they were doing. I mean,
bound
yeah,
situations.
For sure. I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying that, like,
I'm not trying to like.
I think I was a good kid up until like when my parents were still super restrictive on me, and that's something I struggle with Mariah, because I don't want to be that so restrictive where she's like, okay, I'm just gonna move out and go do whatever I want to do, because that's what I did, and that's not my parents' fault necessarily, but like I gave them no reason not to trust me.
Yeah.
And Mariah's given me no reason not to. Well, but she, she's a good kid.
Oh, super good.
But it's just like the communication is not there all the time. And I think that's a problem.
She's not comfortable with coming to you with things.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
No. And then she's just, I don't know. She's, like I said, she's been an only child her whole life. It's hard to let your kid go do stuff by themselves. When you hear them talking about their friends sometimes, and you hear what their friends have got going on and what their parents allowed them to do. And it's just like, I don't think that's very appropriate. So no, I really don't want you over at their house. Cause
but at the same time, I mean, I don't think you can avoid that kind of stuff. Like, all you can hope and just pray and know that you're at least our kid, I feel like, is going to be the good kid in that situation. Like, I mean, there's a situation, I'm not going to put it out there or anything, but there's a situation that she got into recently, and she was the one who did the right thing.
Absolutely, yeah. So but it's just hard to let them go find at 13
it's scary
years old.
To go. No,
because at 13 years old, they should not be dealing with that. Like, I didn't experience that type of interaction until I was in like high school, like 9th grade. And I get like that's next year.
Yeah,
that's like and I wouldn't even say ninth grade. I'd probably say 10th grade is when
Right.
it really started. Yeah, I remember people started talking about smoking weed when I was in like 8th grade,
Yep.
ninth grade. People were talking about like, oh, their older brother, drinks beer. Like,
yeah.
I heard stuff like that.
I had my first drink probably around her age,
That's so wild
and
to me.
smoked weed for the first time probably a little bit older than her.
Yeah. See, I was opposite. I didn't smoke weed until I was 18. I didn't have a sip of alcohol until I was 18, which is still extremely young. And like you shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
But I don't know, it's just hard because it's also you look back at yourself and the mistakes that you made and know that your kids are so much like you because you've raised them and you make those dumb decisions. So you're like sending them out in the world to make the same dumb decisions.
And there's a point in time where you got to just like kind of do that, where you
No.
kind of got to like
Yeah, I know.
just be there for them,
I know.
because it's just they're gonna do worse if you try and stop them from doing things.
Right.
Like my parents always like. My parents were super relaxed,
Right.
and they let us like kind of experiment with alcohol and stuff at the home,
Right.
and their logic was always like, well, at least we know where you are. And they used to take my friends' keys. It was like it's
Right.
it's not.
I think that's super not appropriate though either.
Yeah, I get it.
Right. I think that like your parents went to the other extreme that isn't like great,
Right,
and my
right.
parents went to the other extreme
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not great.
Yep.
And we're trying to find that balance. Mariah has been more strict. I have been more strict with Mariah than I wanted to be.
Yeah.
It's just hard not to be.
Yeah.
No,
I mean it sucks.
It's
100% warranted.
But
it's
like
you know what
you gotta
one
find
you
that
know
middle ground,
yeah.
and it's hard to.
Yeah, one, you know what goes on in this world today.
Right.
Two, she's a girl too, so it's like we really want to be careful because girls are always like just they're under like their stuff could happen.
Yeah,
bad.
I mean,
stuff could happen
like
to
I
any
said,
kid.
I
Stuff
think
happened
back
to
to
me.
myself when I was in middle school of like teachers, male teachers being inappropriate.
Right.
Or even high school, or like my friend's dad making a joke, or
Right.
and you don't realize it at that time, because I know, and that time I didn't. I kind of like probably would blush or like giggle and like,
Yeah.
And then I think back as a mom and an adult and being like,
that was inappropriate.
What is wrong with like people? Like, why would you? And like that also shows how naive and young girls are, and they don't even understand what's happening in that moment.
Yeah.
To realize it, for their brains to register, okay, that guy's being weird right now.
Yeah, and these are the years, and these are the, like we were talking about earlier, like that this is the time where when you start taking stuff and you don't realize that it's bad, that you start to normalize things like the corn thing. Like boys nowadays this age are already into it, watching it, don't realize how bad for the brain it is, don't realize that's I listen to
because it's so normalized everywhere.
I listened to a podcast where he's a Christian, and he married, and he was telling other men who get married to like kind of set your, I don't know, it's not boundaries, but like your expectation, because he was a person who married, they're both virgins, they've never done anything before, and he has been watching corn, and he goes into, he thinks he's going to have a Christian corn star. Like, this is my wife. This is, and then you have to realize like that's unhealthy what you're watching, and it's unrealistic. It's not real. That's not how real like intimacy is.
Right.
So you're like creating something, and then you have a hard time when you're like, oh, I thought it was going to be like this, but there's going to be seasons where your wife is just had a baby. Right. Can't have any intimacy with your wife for weeks, almost a month. Like what? How long is it?
6 weeks.
It's a month and a half, 2 months. So like he was like, I think that we need to outreach to men to be.
No, and I also think it needs to soak to men too, because like you said, like things are sexual immediately to you sometimes.
Like you don't even realize it.
Like, of course, yes, there's times where it's just like, oh yeah,
right,
that's sexual, like, but like for the most part, like a woman like to want to have any like sexual connection needs so much more before that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they just need like the, I don't know, I don't know how to, not affirmations, but just like it's more of like the things you do throughout the day, the way you make them feel throughout the day,
Right.
the this and that, so that will lead to it. Like women aren't just like whenever, whatever. Yeah,
and men like
are
in history, like historically are.
Yeah,
And I think that it's wrong. It's like that's something that you need to like not. That's what I'm saying when she's like when you're young and you start seeing all these things and they're normalized, then all of a sudden there's a study that shows that men think about sex every something seconds, and it's like because we're wired in a certain way, and then we give in to these things because it's normalized around us. Imagine how kids are nowadays.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, the fact that it's being like taught by people that are cheaters, that have cheated, to make excuses from themselves, I don't know, or whatever, if it's something that they truly believe now. And it's like I told you the other day, I was watching this video, and he's telling this guy that's been cheating on his wife, he's telling this girl that
you might as well just
90% of relationships, somebody is cheating, if not both.
Yeah. And so if you're not the person cheating, you better just believe that your spouse is cheating on you.
Because if you leave that relationship, you're entering another relationship where it's going to happen again, or you're going to become the cheater.
Right. So they're literally just saying, just deal with it.
Just deal with it. And
which is crazy.
It is. But like when I was in a relationship, that was something that I was being preached to when I was being cheated on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To stay.
Yeah.
And I was also being preached to by the same people that it was okay for a man to put his hands on me, because all men do that. Yeah. Regardless if you've seen it in your own household or not, when your parents shut the door, it's happened. Mm-hmm. So, and it just like messes with your as a woman, but I'm sure it does for men too that have been cheated on the same. It messes with your brain chemistry. I feel like you have to learn like that's not normal. No, everything I thought about my father is not a lie. Like, right. You know, everything I thought about the men in my family, like they haven't all cheated on their wives, or their wives haven't cheated on them, or they haven't all gotten physical altercations with each other and just shoved it behind a closed door for none of us to know.
Right.
But that is literally something that is becoming more profound now, that people are like outwardly saying, and more people are agreeing with, that is true.
What, that
people cheat.
Yeah.
People, you know, physical altercations between two that are like abusive are normal, and it's just, it's not.
It's so not.
I think that crazy. It blows my mind that I at one point was believing that.
Yeah, yeah. It just shows that the world just needs more God.
For sure, because it's just
because this is not how He wants us to live.
No,
and even I think we believed in like a traditional
marriage.
When you're married, you're married. Like this is like
no matter what hard time, if we ever come into a hard time, you know, it's something for us to figure out together.
Right. I don't think we'll ever come into a time where one of us is beating each other up, though.
I don't know, man. You want to watch out.
If anything, it's you whooping me. No, I don't think so.
No.
We're I don't know.
I have too much respect for you outside of just love.
Right.
Like I would never do
and
that.
You've also been in a situation where you've been the victim.
Right.
So it's like, and I've never like I've never even had an instinct where I wanted to hurt anybody.
Right.
Like I've just grew up not wanting to physically hurt anybody.
Right.
I've only been in like a couple fights in my entire life, and I didn't like it.
Right.
Don't like this.
Yeah.
It sucks getting hurt. It sucks hurting other people. You know what I mean? I've always been a carer.
Right.
But
no, yeah. And once I was mixed out in a crowd where like it was like
me too.
Like dude, you beat up somebody, like you're like
I literally
nobody wants to mess
have been
with you.
in
That's
a
tough.
situation where I've had people who have killed people in the room with me.
Yeah.
Plenty of times.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's crazy. Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's,
I've had people who were trying to kill each other walk in and out of the house, luckily like 10 minutes apart from each other.
Right.
Or people who were trying to there's a person that is in my house that is the reason that another person that has been in my house has gone to jail.
Right.
Or there's people in my house that are affiliated with certain things, and then
But
the other
being
people.
around those people is what's toxic, and you don't even realize it.
Yeah, for sure. For
And
sure.
like, instead of thinking, like, I used to think so negatively after I left that space about people that lived those type of lives,
They're just a
almost to the point where it grew like a hate.
yeah.
Because I felt like they helped pull me down.
Right.
But that's nobody's fault but my own.
Yeah. It's not your fault. Yeah. And it's
But-
not, it's almost not even, I mean, it is their fault, but it's like you grow up around certain situations and certain things are normalized, just like,
Right.
we were
But we
talking
all have that. Everybody is born, regardless, is born with
with
that.
like a moral compass.
Yeah. And like, we choose to ignore it, because every instance where I ignored it, I can look back at
And
and
be like, "Damn."
realize I ignored it. So that same excuse is not really there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we all have that.
Right.
If they did have a moment where they didn't at all have that moral compass, they got so far away from God.
Yeah.
But there was a point in time that they had that.
Right.
You know? So, but what I was going through was that it's like, I went through a point where I was like, I couldn't stand people like that were like, just like, I don't know, like overly like aggressive or overly sexualizing themselves or overly anything. I was just like, but I don't hate anybody.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, like, that's those, I need to pray for those people.
Right.
Because they are just as precious to God as I am.
Right.
But that's all with working through everything that you go through.
Yeah.
And I just think everybody needs to have more of an open mind, and it's not to accept the way people are living.
Yeah.
But if you have more of an open mind to why they are there, or why they have, feel that way, they may feel more comfortable having that discussion about God. And I think that is a part of Christianity that is a struggle. When people are like, if you see those videos where people are at like gay rights rallies, or if they're at like a Black Lives Matter rally, or if they're at any of these rallies that like just don't coincide values necessarily, it's always usually like nobody wants to hear each other. And then you see those rare, beautiful moments where like, they're like, no, I love you. I understand what you're doing. But for the most part, they're not. And I think that's what it's from, because Christians are so known to judge.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can know that's wrong,
right,
but you don't have to judge.
Judgment is like literally one of the main things you're supposed to be taught.
That's the thing, is like,
and
that's a huge thing that
we do
has to break away from
Christianity
is the judgment that follows with it. Nobody is better than the last or the next.
Right. It even happens in the Christianity realm.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes it so
people
hard.
Don't like certain mega church people. People don't like certain like denominations. People don't. It's like, bruh, like.
Well, but to not like, it's fine. I don't have to like the way you.
No, yeah, and it's like, but then outwardly being like hateful against it. It's like, bro, you're
hateful and judgmental of it is like a huge problem. And I think that's just something that that's probably the one sin that everybody needs to work on.
Right.
Like, yes, my mouth is but like overall, anybody in Christianity needs. Am I saying it wrong?
Yes.
Well, whatever.
Christianity.
What am I saying?
Christianity.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Christianity.
There you go. You said it right that time.
I've been saying it like that the whole time.
You said Christianity.
What? Oh, well.
We all, if you haven't been here since the first season, my wife, a little bit dyslexic.
Will say things so wrong, and I don't even hear it.
She pronounces words all funky sometimes.
And I really
used to be able to call one out every episode.
Yeah, I really don't notice it though when I say it. I can only tell when people are like staring at me like I'm crazy.
I think we did it last episode, but breakfast is a big one.
Yeah, breakfast, and I don't hear it.
I just love hearing you say it.
I don't hear it, and that's one thing. Everybody used to make fun of me for sounding like Gucci Mane when I say breakfast. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I sound just like you, and I still can't hear it.
Right.
I don't hear where I'm saying breakfast wrong.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
But anyways, what was that? I forgot.
I don't know. I think
breakfast.
we were done. I think we got a good point across. Let's do something positive.
Okay.
Let's end off on that because we're at like almost an hour, and I just want to like we're judging how long the battery lasts off of this.
How long are we at?
We're at like 49 minutes. It looks like
that's good.
or if it's still counting, yeah, something like that. I'd be all right with being under an hour for once, but we'll see where we go with this next topic. So this week, so we're new to Christianity. So I've been like mindfully praying, and we pray a lot. That's a big thing that I do every day. Is just pray a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm very new to all of it. So it's been like I know that for my mental, it's been working.
Right.
There are prayers that have been answered, but I think that me praying on somebody else's situation and a prayer being answered kinda happened to me
Right.
for the first time this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of wanted to like see if there was anything that you've been praying about that you feel like is being answered. Because we talked about it a little bit. My father's in a situation where he is in a rehabilitation home. He had a couple strokes over the last couple of years, and we're almost positive he has Alzheimer's. Like he hasn't been well, I think he's been diagnosed.
Yes.
But we haven't physically been told by a doctor that he has it, but I think he had, and he just doesn't.
Well, I mean, they kind of already diagnosed him for us where he's at as well.
Yeah. They were like, he basically, they diagnosed us because they told us that he can't live on his own.
Right.
So he's now he's in a rehabilitation home, which is, it's good he has somewhere to be, but it's not the nicest place.
No.
So we've been waiting we put an application in for assistant living quite a couple months ago. And I got a call from, Medicare in Florida. I got a call from Medicare, and she was basically saying that she's going to push it through to hopefully be accepted to get the ball rolling on it.
Right.
As soon as they could. So it felt good. I've honestly was praying a lot for my family, praying a lot for like my mom, but I've made it a point for the last couple of weeks to pray for my dad. I pray for him every morning. He's like one of the first people I prayed for. So it's crazy to see a prayer come back around and be like, he's doing the work.
This is like one of your first to like.
This is like one of my first prayers to be like, yeah, that's not me has nothing.
Right.
It doesn't have to do with me.
Right.
It's me praying about somebody else's situation, and it's me praying for a situation where a person who is not a believer,
right,
and watching God still work on him just because people have been praying for him. So yeah, it felt good. Feels awesome. We love you. Thank the Lord.
Yes.
Hopefully the ball's moving in the right direction. So I say that to ask you, do you feel like there's any prayers that have been answered other than our beautiful baby boy that's growing?
I've definitely experienced some in my lifetime for sure.
Like recently, something you've been praying for recently that's shown it's being worked.
Not to do with myself.
That could be anything.
I mean, every day I see him like answering my prayer about how I deal with situations and help me. I wouldn't say, I don't know, I wouldn't say I have an anger problem.
No.
Right. But like I am quick to anger when I get frustrated.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to deal with frustration.
Right.
And I just immediately blow up in it. And that's difficult for me. And especially with Mariah, with being so tough in the morning. I know we've talked about her being really, really tough in the morning sometimes. I prayed to God about like just helping me navigate that more.
Yeah.
To where I can like, even if I like blow up once she's gone out the car or cry, burst into tears, whatever I need to do with those emotions, but not to like throw them back on her.
Right.
Not to allow her to feel those because her emotions are already such a high that she is having a hard time.
Yeah, it's like
navigating through her emotions. So I've been seeing that because over the last couple of months I've been able to like, and I've definitely lost some days, but like for the most part I've really been able to control that and just like hold it in to try to regulate those like frustrations and like to immediately want to go to anger when it's happening. And I also pray that she gets through it because
she starts to figure it out herself.
and as of right now, I haven't seen that happen to her, but I have no doubt that
she's a
with
kid.
prayer that it will happen.
I think we have trouble because she is a grown kid. She's 14.
Mm-hmm.
She's so smart. She's like aware of a lot of things. It's hard to believe that this is still a child. And at the end of the day, she is a child. Her brain, there's just things that are still progressing and growing. And like, I try and think about myself. I know you as a kid were not easy to deal with either. I wasn't easy. I hated the morning time.
But I also think as a kid, nobody understood that I couldn't control my emotions. And I think that I needed help with that. And I have not been able to do that for myself to where I'm at a point where I can help her.
Right.
So it's something I've been praying on. But I don't think that the way she reacts to things is a normal reaction of a kid her age. Okay. I think they're valid. But I don't think that it's an appropriate reaction to a lot of the times what it is. I think she does need help with like trying to figure that out and regulate her emotions.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do that. But what my whole point was with the prayer, I've been noticing a difference in myself, and I'm hoping that difference in myself and myself being able to control it. And when she's like that, I sit, we sit and I'm like, Mariah, can I just say a prayer with you? And
it's just showing
or just
her,
talking her through it and not like getting loud. And some mornings it's like, I feel like, and I know she's not doing it on purpose, but it just feels like no matter what I say, and there's days where I know it's no matter what I say, she's just feeling these feelings, but it's just like, I'm trying to be positive. And it's just like, how is this 13-year-old girl about to get me on my knees? Like, I don't know, and it's just, praying about that, it has gotten easier. There are still days where it is a struggle, but I have noticed that weight lifted off my chest in those moments of not necessarily knowing I'm about to like lose control of my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as just work, like over the last year or so, I'd say with work, God's helped me because I've had a really tough time with the boss that I had prior. And the boss that I have now, kind of like following behind that and like knowing how to, once again, with my emotions, like how do I handle this as an emotional human being where I don't put myself in a situation where I'm not being professional or that I'm, going to lose my job or leave my job because of the way somebody's being,
the way you react to something.
So I've just been seeing that a big difference in myself, and it makes me feel more, I feel so relieved the fact that I can feel that and that he's working on that with me. Because that's the thing I struggle with most is like how to control my anger in those moments. Cause I don't go to like being upset or sad or quiet or anything. I go to like complete like anger where I'm like enraged, and it takes everything in me not to like just, I don't know, rip somebody's head off. And like that's what it is. It's what it feels like. It feels like, okay, like I need to get out this car and I need to walk away. And like, I just really want to like, like, I don't know how to say it. I just physically want to get it out of me.
Yeah.
And, it's hard. It's like, I don't even know why I go to anger like that. It's raining outside.
It just started raining.
Podcast, like, is it my ear? But that, I mean, he's worked tremendously on that because I haven't lashed out in a really long time.
All right.
Back. And that makes me feel good. And I know I still have a long way to go. And he's going to start working on her through me, I think, of learning how to
setting the right example. Yeah. That's the only way we can parent.
Yeah.
Well, good. Then it's starting to pour down rain and we're almost at an hour. So the camera lasted an hour on a fully charged battery. Thank you guys for listening. We're going to wrap this one up. I hope you have a beautiful Labor Day Monday. I hope all your prayers are being answered.
Yeah, if you've had a prayer that you've been praying for some time and it finally, came to light of how he worked that out for you,
Let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah. And I think with these episodes, I think we're going to be working a lot on different angles and like figuring out how we want this to look, because I'm not in love with this angle of us. I want us to be like closer up, kind of. I don't know. But yeah. So you'll be seeing some changes probably now that we're working off the professional camera.
So professional.
So pro, dude. We're so pro. Thank you guys for listening. If you're on the podcast apps, give us some stars. If you're on the YouTubes, like, comment, and sub. We love you so much. Have a beautiful Monday. And we're out of here, dude.
Bye.
Bye.